What is up, gamers? FCast and Chill here. In my last video, I went through doing a ton of Vardorvis kill count before the Fang nerf came out, and I did a similar thing with Duke right after. So, other than the Scythe and Soul Reaper axe, the Fang was the best in slot weapon at Duke before the Fang nerf, and so I was grinding Duke pretty hard to try to get the Magus Vestige before, the Fang ended up getting nerfed. Unfortunately, the Fang did end up getting nerfed in mid-January, but I did do a ton of kill count, as you can see here, in early January before that happened. But I did stick it out at Duke for a while. I crossed the 1300 kill count mark, and so I want to show you guys the loot I got from that and just talk about Duke a little bit. So Duke's a pretty fun boss. You start out by having to do kind of a agility course type part of the fight where you just run across to the ends of the room and collect some mushrooms and grind them up and mix them with salt, and then you can make potions and use those to wake Duke up. Unfortunately, there is a more efficient method to doing this where you just collect a bunch of mushrooms and grind them up and use them directly on Duke. Kind of defeats the point of going through the whole agility course portion of the fight and makes it faster. But, I'm going to do that because even though it's maybe less fun, it's faster, and that's what I'm going to do. So you can see I start off a kill here with just kind of hanging out and grinding up a bunch of mushrooms. If you grind a mushroom right before you pick another one, it actually picks the next one more quickly. And so you can pick all the mushrooms you need fairly quickly. You have to do 200 damage to Duke to wake him up, and each mushroom does 5. So I usually end up with 42 because there's 6 mushroom powder from each one you grind up. So you just grind up your 7 mushrooms and then run over to Duke and start using them on them. Luckily, you don't use the mushrooms as fast as you spam click, so you just kind of use them casually, and you can get them all as long as you're using 1 per tick. You don't have to kill your wrist or anything, and you get a little bit of a wrist break in between kills when you're actually doing the fight. So it's not too bad. As for the fight itself, Duke is a pretty fun and interesting fight. A lot of people probably disagree with me on that, but I think it's kind of fun. So the way it works is if you're standing right next to Duke within melee range, then he'll kind of gear up a melee attack. He'll do a little chip damage with these crystals on the ground first, and then if you don't step out of melee range, he'll slam you for pretty heavy damage. If you aren't within melee range when he starts to do his attack, then he'll just cast a magic spell at you that does pretty significant damage, even if you're blocking Protect from Mage. So the strategy that you want to do is you want to stand within melee range of Duke, and whenever he starts to lift himself up to slam the ground, you have to step back. And just do that repeatedly throughout the whole fight. He does have a couple other special attacks. He has one where he launches some little gas balls onto these vents that you're standing near, and then you'll take poison damage if you stand near them, so you have to run back and forth across the room a bit. And he also has an attack where he'll gaze at you with his eye, and if you're standing out in the open and not behind one of these pillars, you essentially just die. I think you can survive it if you have over 100 HP, but yeah, not a good idea to try to tank that. But yeah, overall, like, a pretty fun fight. It's fairly quick, actually. After you wake him up, the fight can be pretty short. But yeah, we're just going to keep grinding out some Duke and hopefully get some drops. What we're going to be looking for mainly is the Magus Vestige. So this is a 1 in 720 drop, but it does have that interesting mechanic that the other Desert Treasure 2 rings have, that you have to get 3 rolls on the drop table that are 3 times as common as that 1 in 720. So effectively, you have to get a 1 in 240 drop 3 times, and then you'll get the ring. The unfortunate thing is you don't know when you've hit the first and second one of those 1 in 240 drops, so you're just a little bit in the dark until you get the ring itself. But we're going to stick it out. There's also the axe piece on the drop table that's also a 1 in 720. And since I already got the axe piece from Vardorvis, I'm really hoping that I can get one from Duke as well. Also, I already got the Virtus hat and Virtus legs from Vardorvis. And as everybody knows, I still don't have an Ancestral top. So I really hope I can pull a Virtus top too, because that would be a big upgrade for me compared to the Arams that I'm still using. For every Duke kill that you do, there's a 1 in 90 chance that you'll roll the unique table. But when you do roll that unique table, then there's a 3 in 8 chance that it'll be one of those invisible Magus Vestige rolls. So effectively what that means is about 1 in 144 or so you should be seeing a unique drop from Duke. And unfortunately, the first drop I got here was at 457. We got a chromium ingot here. This is nice to see, but I did get 9 ingots from my Vardorvis grind, so I'm not too stoked about it, but I mean, I'll take it. I still need the total of 12 to make all 4 rings. And after that ingot, it was a really long time before I got anything else. I, just was going really dry at Duke. I was still having fun, it's a fun boss fight, but it has been quite a big struggle. You can see here I'm at about 800 kills now, and I still only have that 1 ingot in terms of uniques. But yeah, we're just gonna keep grinding out. I'm having fun, and this is still an enjoyable boss. I'm looking forward to finishing him because I'm going to TOA after, which that's going to be a lot of fun. But it's fine. Hopefully it'll get the drop soon. I will say that Duke drops a good amount of clue scrolls here. You can see I got a medium recently, and that's been pretty nice because I've been stacking caskets as well. My plan is whenever I end up maxing, I'm going to pop a bunch of caskets in my bank, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you want to see it. But, even though I'm not getting the unique drops from Duke, at least I'm getting some useful stuff. And I may still not have any Duke unique kills other than that 1 ingot, but I did get 3 mist rune drops in a row, so I mean, that's pretty cool, right? That's exactly what I was looking for. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny. It's kind of a rare occurrence, but whatever. We're just going to keep at it, keep grinding. Surely my luck's going to turn around soon. Just for reference, while playing really efficiently with this Fang before the nerf, I was able to get in the ballpark of like 23 or 24 kills per hour, and that's with like full focus. So it's taken a while to get up to this 850, 900 range, but it's fine. Hopefully I'll get something soon. And here at 931 kill count, a bit later, we did get another ingot. So again, not the unique I'm looking for, but I will still take it. And another ingot here at 993. At least we're starting to finally get some unique drops. It's way overdue, but yeah, the average for the Magus Vestige is 1 in 720, so we're pretty well past the drop rate at this point. So surely I have 2 out of the 3 hidden drop rolls, and I'm gonna get the 3rd any day now. And there is the big 1000 kill count. We're just going to keep going. I'm really hoping in addition to getting the Magus Vestige, I can also get the pet here, because I think the Duke pet is one of the funniest looking pets in the game, and I would love to have it in my collection. And here at 1144 kill count, you can see I got the Magus Vestige finally. So this was a pretty long grind, like I said, about 24 kills per hour or so, and that's, with max efficiency, so about 50 hours in total to get this Vestige. And that's not including the time I spent learning the fight and, dying some at the beginning. But we're gonna take a break here. So what I did was, after I got getting this Magus Vestige, I stepped away from Duke, because I was like, okay, I want to get that before the Fang nerf's done. The Fang nerf happened, and then they also released some new combat achievements for Duke. So after that, I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll go back. Arclight's not that bad. We'll see how it goes. And so I went back to Duke after those combat achievements came out with Arclight to test it out. So some of the speed achievements might be really hard to do right now without, the overpowered Fang that we had before. And honestly, both the axe and the scythe are amazing weapons at Duke. So I'll probably wait on the speed times until I get those. But I do want to start off with this combat achievement, Cold Feet. So you have to essentially just kill Duke without taking avoidable damage and without running at all. So essentially just playing perfectly for a kill. And I didn't realize, but that means not running on collecting the mushroom supplies too at first. So I was wondering why I wasn't getting it, but eventually figured that out, walked all the way down to the mushrooms, walked all the way back to Duke, and then had to go through the entire kill, timing everything perfectly to get this achievement. And there we are, that is Cold Feet. And a little bit after getting Cold Feet, actually on the same trip, you can see here I got 2 combat achievements from 1 kill, the Perfect Duke, which is what you get from doing 5 kills in 1 trip without taking avoidable damage. And then I also got the sub 145 time, which, not too bad. The other time achievements were sub 120 and 130, but Jagex actually bumped them up 5 seconds to 125 and 135, so I probably will end up getting the sub 135 time. I think I might stay and go for either the axe piece or, going for that time. So we're going to hang out at Duke, for a little bit longer. And like I said, I do end up getting to 1300 kill count. So hopefully we can maybe knock out another combat achievement in that too. After playing around with the DPS calculator quite a bit, I figured out that if you're using Bandos Godsword and you get 2 hits off at the beginning of the fight, dealing 105 damage or more, then the Blade of Salador actually overtakes the Arclight in DPS at Duke. So you can see I've actually brought my blade here as well as the BGS, and I ended up getting a kill where I hit 2 really hard hits with the BGS, and then I swapped to my blade after a couple hits with the Arclight, and you can see that that actually got me the sub 130 time. I got a 128.8. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the sub 125 for the Grandmaster speed task, but I'm going to stick at it a bit more and keep trying, and we'll see how it goes. After playing around with the DPS calculator a little bit more, I started bringing a Crystal Halberd too, because I realized that if I hit a big Crystal Halberd spec or two, then I could pretty easily get the time of sub 130. So maybe we'll get that. I'm going to stick it out a little more and see. I have had a couple kills already where I was going to get the sub 130 time if I had gotten a big Crystal Halberd spec, but unfortunately it whiffed both times. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I'm still having fun at this boss somehow. Maybe I'm crazy, but I do still need the axe piece, so hopefully we'll get that soon. And shockingly here, you can see I got a second Magus Vestige here at 1283. That's actually shocking because I got the first at 1144. So that means in, I guess, 139 kill count, I got a second one, which means I hit that 1 in 240 drop roll 3 times in 139 after taking 1144. So that's a little insane. Unfortunately, I can't drop trade this to a main, so what I'll need to do is I'll need to get another Sears ring and then also 3 extra ingots, and then I can drop it over to my main and sell it for bonds. But that's actually wild. I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, they're worth quite a good chunk here, you can see. So, whatever, I'll take it. But we're just going to keep going. We're almost at that 1300 mark. And unfortunately, I did not get the Grandmaster time yet, but as you can see at 1315 here, I finally got the Eye of the Duke. That is the piece of the Soul Reaper axe. And now I am at 2 out of 4 Soul Reaper axe pieces. I have Vardorvis and Duke. So that's an amazing feeling. This weapon's really good at both Bard and Duke, since I don't have a scythe. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to hold off on the Whisper until I get the Shadow. So we're going to be at TOA for a while soon. Might try some Leviathan before too long. But that's really it for my Duke story for now. I'm going to come back for the last combat achievements after getting either the Axe or Scythe. But this has been a really fun boss. If you guys are interested and want me to make a Duke guide also, let me know. I definitely could. But let's look at the loot now. So this is the total loot from the 1,316 kills that I did. And you can see I got a lot of good supplies here, like 10,000 adamant ore, about 1k runite ore, 6,000 dragon arrows, tips. One thing that most people don't realize is Duke is the best way in the game for an Iron Man to get dragon arrows per hour. So the dragon arrows that you get per hour are better than anything else in the game. Yeah, other than that, lots of food too. You can see I got almost 5,000 sea turtles and ended up with 3 ingots. Lots of clues too that I've been stacking the caskets for, which has been nice. And then the 2 Magus Vestiges. So in the loot tracker here, the Magus Vestige doesn't show up in the value, but each Magus ring is worth about 78 million right now, as of the time of making this video. So really you can add another 150 million or so onto my total value. So the amount of GP I got from all these Duke kills ended up being approximately 280-ish, 280, 290, which, hey, I'll take it. 280 million GP added to my bank for a 50-hour grind, not too bad at all. Yeah, pretty fun boss. If again, like I said, if you want me to make a guide, let me know. And I'm gonna be back soon with some more content. I have a lot of editing to catch up on, so stay tuned and subscribe if you want to see more. All right, thanks guys. Have a good one.